What's up, everybody? Welcome to South Beach Strategy, where we break down the mindset of people who are working hard in the space of entrepreneurship, influencing, and always as a part of our strategy, fitness. I'm Jay Kuza. We're here with my partner in arm, Alex from Privilege Media. Thank you, Alex, for coming.
Amazing.
And we have Alex from Canada, right?
Yes, man. Okay. Toronto, born.
Let's go.
Alex, let's go. Let's dive right into it. You know,
Yeah,
we've been watching you and following you on Instagram for a couple weeks now, and we've seen how you've been able to grow your personal brand. You know, and being a young entrepreneur, we figured we got to bring Alex on and we got to have him here because, you know, we look up to that. We like that. You know, we like the fact that you're working on your own personal brand, and we want to know how you did it.
Yeah, for sure. No, like, to be honest, it came from having a background in content creation. I feel like you have to have a drive for it. People think I just started and I just blew up really fast. I've been posting videos since like the age of 6. You know, like I was 6 years old, posting on YouTube, vlogging, you know, posting whatever. I'm with my boys, I'm recording, I'm posting. And then when COVID hit, that's when I started to kind of lay off the posting. I just posted for fun. I never wanted to go viral or anything like that. I just posted because I liked it genuinely. I had like a good strive for it. And when COVID hit, that's when everything started to come down, and I got out of content creation and I got more into editing. And this is kind of, you see how I'm building all the skills here and there as I'm growing. And I never realized it was going to all come down and help me at one point in my life. But I started to get into editing. And then after COVID was done, that's when my kind of story started to build. We can talk about that later on. But during COVID, I started to build some good skills. And after COVID was done, I wanted to get my life back in check. And my mom's like, you know, you love posting. Like, go post about this stuff on Instagram and TikTok and all that stuff. Yeah. So I posted on there for a good while and then blew up pretty fast, I'd say, you know, compared to other people. But you know, it's a mixture of luck but a lot of skill and strategy behind everything you do on social media. It's what a lot of people don't get.
Okay, good. Well, it looks like you love fitness now.
Yeah.
But that wasn't the case always, right?
No.
And I think that takes us kind of into the story we were talking about earlier off camera on how we got to where we are today. So why don't you take us through that? Where did this start? When did you decide I want to get into fitness?
Yeah, so during COVID, so I was an athletic kid growing up. I played lots of hockey. I played lots of soccer. I did jiu-jitsu for like 6 years. And when COVID hit, you know, everything kind of shut down for everybody. And I was a part of that, obviously. But what came with COVID was becoming very lazy, you know, sports, lots of junk food. I used to eat healthy growing up. COVID, that was done. And I didn't really care about anything. I lost all my motivation. I was playing video games all day. Started to deal with some mental health stuff. Was not really in a good place in my life. I was lots of acne. I was not good at all. And when COVID was done and I was transitioning into high school, that was like my step up. I'm like, okay, now I'm going to high school. I need to step myself. I need change. And I tried a lot of things. My biggest insecurity, you can say, was my skin. You can see that on my social medias. But I was like, you know, I need to change my skin. That was my first piece of motivation. And I was like, I tried everything, did lots of research, went to lots of dermatologists. The only thing that cleared it was my diet. And when I switched up my diet, I was like, hey, now I want to start building muscle. You know, I can clear my skin, let me build some muscle. So I got into the gym, and I fell in love with it fast. The first bicep vein I saw, the first arm vein, a little bit of definition, because I started off pretty skinny. You know, it's pretty easy to pack on muscle when you start off on that end of the boat. I was like, I love this. So I continued going. And it became like literally a passion of mine, just eating like pretty good and seeing the results from it in every aspect of life. Whenever I talk to people about this stuff, I tell them, you know, nutrition and fitness is a big umbrella. You know, what comes from it isn't just, you know, having muscles, but also comes, you know, quality sleep, clear skin, feeling good, having better productivity, having better energy. So, you know, I love feeling overall good from it, and that's kind of why I started what I do now.
Did you have a strategy? Because it seemed like you were videotaping this process.
Yeah, let me tell you. This is a good story. So when I first started videotaping, it was strictly just fitness stuff, right? Like I was like, I want the girls to see me at school. I was posting on Instagram. I was like, you know, let me just start posting my workouts. 0 views. 0 views for bad editing. You know, it was just like all over the place. I didn't care too much, but I see other kids, and this is my other motivation from social media, not from myself. Like I wanted to do something on social media. When I go scroll on TikTok or scroll on Instagram, I see these like 16-year-olds driving Lambos, like making it off of content creation. And I'm like, really, I want to do that, right? So that was my motivation. So I started diving into my niche. I started lots of they see people don't see the side of content creation. 400 plus hours of just research on YouTube of just researching what works, how to do it properly, and strategy. And I dived deep into my niche. I settled on nutrition and fitness. That was my hobby. And I saw this one kid. Was my like catalyst, you can say. I saw this one kid, and he posted a what I eat in a day video. And you know me now, that's like my main thing, right? So I saw this kid, and it got like not even that much, maybe like 50,000 views. And I was like, bro, like that's a lot. Like let me try this. So the next day I started posting what I eat in a day videos. And definitely different from how I do it now. Pretty bad quality, wasn't whatever. But I continued to that, and I still to this day don't even know why I continued it. But what I can tell everybody right now is consistency is literally key. Like every time you post, it's a lottery ticket, right? Because one video changes your life. So I kept posting, and I woke up one day to like 15 million views on one video.
Wow.
And after that, everything changed. Like brands, people trying to hop on the boat with me, agencies, all this crazy stuff. Because after I got that one hit, it wasn't just straight back down to zero, because now I have a base. I was waking up to 10,000 followers every day, 20,000. I have screenshots in my phone of like the timeline. You can see this same time last year, December. I was waking up every day to like 10,000 new followers. I mean, I gained 100,000 followers in like a month off of what I did. I doubled down on it. Like if you go back in a timeline on my page, you'll see every single video from that timeline is like 100,000 to 5-6 million views average for a good while. Like I was riding the wave.
No, that's amazing. So
Yeah.
I have a question. Things don't just happen on its own. You have to plan. You have to have kind of like a avenue or way to get to your goal. So you're very well spoken to, by the way.
Thank you.
Big shout outs to your parents. But you said one thing. You said you started watching the other kids' TikTok, and you said, hey, I want to be a content creation. And you said the same thing about fitness. There had to be a moment where someone talked to you or sparked interest or was like a mentor where it clicked in your head and you're like, yeah, this is what I'm going to do, or this is who I want to be like. Talk to us about that.
Yeah, so if we're talking like mentors, always growing up, like I always wanted to, well, growing up, Disney was my thing. I wanted to be like an actor. I never had a thought of I want to be a doctor or lawyer. That was never my thought growing up. It was like, I want to be a content creator. I want to be like Logan Paul and Jake Paul. So for answering your question, those were the two guys I genuinely look up to. I mean, like,
They're
kind of
amazing.
sounds, yeah,
Look at where they at now.
inspirational. Like it's crazy, and they come off as retards, like dumbasses, right? But if I'm telling you right now, they're smart. Like I Show Speed, Logan Paul, these big streamers and YouTubers, they're like crazy smart, and they have a lot of smart people on their team that keeps them up there and is riding the wave. So I always knew that growing up. I'm like, these guys aren't actually dumb. They're just portraying themselves so they can relate to other people and make them laugh. So was like my first thing. I guess you can say that was my like biggest inspiration growing up, where I'm like, I see something in content creation. But then now I personally look up a lot to a few entrepreneurs. Like entrepreneurs is my big thing now, like monetizing what I do. So I look up a lot to Brez Scales. He does a lot of like scaling people's personal brands, which I want to tap into when I'm older. Ashton Hall is a big one. That's what kind of got me into one-on-one coaching, which I do now with teens.
And just like you said before, Ashton Hall posted millions of videos before that one hit, and he became a world sensation overnight.
Crazy. Like literally, that's what I'm saying. Is the biggest thing that a lot of people don't understand is that social media is not just about making money off of content creation. You can monetize any product, anything you're doing, whatever business you're doing, real estate, you can be doing selling cars, detailing, whatever you're doing, even like shops, food restaurants. You have a good personal brand on social media, you're gonna triple, 4x, 5x your profit.
Not only that,
Very fast.
20 years ago, in my day, I couldn't attract the people that I could attract now or have the access to even reach them, like you said. Now you have the internet and your hands, it's all on you.
It's very true. No, I know. Like I 100% agree, because I'm pretty grateful to live in the generation where things are a bit easier now, but at the same time I feel like it's also easier because a lot of kids my age, they're not as driven as people may think they are. I know some people have different perspectives on that, but I personally believe the older generation is way more hardworking and driven than my generation, and I have a leverage on that because it's so easy. The competition's easy, like very easy. I'm in school. If you can't even get your basic work done in school and you're failing your class, how are you gonna run a business? These kids think that you can drop out of school and fail your classes, and just because you're failing, that means that you're gonna make it in entrepreneurship. But you need these basic skills that you learn in school to run a business or to be successful in whatever else you do in life, right? Like, a lot of people resonate with me as well because I have good grades. I still manage good grades in school, and I feel like that helped me a lot. Even communicating with people, I'm communicating with you now.
It's the most important thing, communicating with people.
You build skills along the way, and even with my content creation, I do believe I built a lot of great skills. And I was actually talking this with my friend earlier, and like everything you do in life, you're building skills, but you choose to build those skills, right? Like you can just choose to have one thing go in one ear, not the other, and then not care and scroll on your phone all day, or you can take everything with a skill, right? Like when you're in school, you take that as a skill, or right now I'm talking to you, I'm taking this as a speaking skill, right?
Definitely.
So that's how I kind of perceive.
The way you do anything is the way you do everything. Right, Jay?
Yes, and based on what you and Alex were talking about, because I got two good follow-up questions to what you guys are saying. So question number one, Alex asked you about someone who was an influence, and your answer had to do with like Jake Paul, Logan Paul.
Yeah,
so those are online influences
Yeah.
for you. Who was your real life influence? I think his question was two parts, kind of like that one was the good answer, and then was there somebody though, like in your household or at the gym, like who guided you along the way? Because you didn't wake up and just go by yourself, did you?
Well, I'll be completely honest and transparent with you guys. Like, growing up, my parents always told me, like, you're a different type of kid because you do things on your own. And I believe that I was just driven on my own. I feel like I built it up as I was growing up, right? But I always had a different perspective on things. Like, no matter what I was doing, I put my all into it. Whether it's, school, I don't give up till I ace that exam, right? I'm studying all the time. Or if it's content creation, I'm not giving up till I get that. Like, if it's a week and I haven't got a viral video, I'm researching all night. There's a lot that goes into content creation, so I'm researching all night till I know this video is gonna do good, or like I have a good chance of getting a good video. Or if I haven't gone to stale in a while, I'm like doubling down on that. I put a lot of effort into everything I do, and I feel like I just kind of took it upon myself, right? Like, this is kind of like a challenge I put on myself, like starting content creation. That's why I kept doing it, because I'm like, I like it, and I'm gonna hit it one day, right? So I put my all into it. Nobody really came to me and was like, you should do this. I kind of told that to myself.
That's good. I mean, it's not, you're not the only one. We have interviewed some other young influencers, and like Reg, when we asked him who his influences were, they were also online personalities, not in-person influencers. So I think that's the little shift that we're seeing with the younger generation and the older. You guys have access to bigger influences, so you're looking online for people to motivate you.
It's true.
And the way they put their content, you can relate to it.
Yes.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Especially if you're gonna mimic somebody, someone that you know personally is not gonna have the influences like a Jake Paul would have, right? So who do you look at? The guy is, in your neighborhood that's got a couple videos, or you look at Jake Paul and say, I can follow what he's doing, study his tactics, and try to get to that level.
Exactly.
Which I think is a good idea.
I was actually talking about this too with somebody earlier. Everything's relations. You have to relate to people on things to find that drive. Right? Like, if I saw some 50-year-old driving a Lamborghini, that's not going to drive me. That would never have driven me to do what I'm doing. I saw a kid my age doing it.
Yes.
And that's what was like, hey, I could do it, right?
And then now back to the views and talking about because you talked about the video that you posted that was the 15 million, and I'm looking through your views, and there's a massive jump from what your original views were, and then it just shot up after that. So that just goes to show that one post. So let's talk about that for a little bit. Let's dive deep into that. So the post was about what?
So the What I Eat Day video. So that's where I found the inspiration. I just kept posting about it, and it just popped off. What I noticed, some things that I changed, and I can give some free value here, but some things that I changed is the first 3 seconds of a video is the most important. You have to catch the reader or the audience or the viewer, I should say, or the videos they're gonna scroll. And I know the Instagram algorithm. I know that they're very close together, the TikTok and the Instagram algorithm. And I study it a lot, and I can tell you that viewer attention is everything. They see who's engaging, and they see how long somebody's watching your video. If you post a video on Instagram and you look at that video 30 minutes later and it's at 300, 200 views and 5 likes, just scrap it off. It's going nowhere, right? TikTok's a bit different. You may go back to that video a week later and it may all of a sudden blow up because the Instagram algorithm's kind of crazy. You can really go viral and they're fast. But when it comes to Instagram, if it's dead in the first 30 minutes, it's not going to be relived. So you really have to make sure that you're making the first 15 to 30 minutes pop off. And that's with different things, where you can get people to comment by putting a little thing in the video that will spark engagement. Be like, I need a comment about that, some controversy or something. That's what I did a lot too, and I'll talk about that. And another thing is just catching the reader for the first 3 seconds. So they can continue watching up until the 7 or 8 second mark, depending on how long your video is, right? And that will keep the Instagram algorithm to push it.
So what are the first 3 seconds of this video?
It was literally what I eat. It was something like, I don't eat processed foods or fine sugar. Most foods the kids my age eat. Here's everything I eat in a day. That catches every parent. They're like, oh my God, this kid he's so good. I need my kid to watch this. Let me watch what he's eating so I can help my kid out too. And that's my demographic. It's all parents.
And it's organic. You're an educator.
Yeah.
Half of the stuff is killing you with sugar and all the B4 and all this extra stuff. So you're relating something that people really need to listen to. You're doing it from your perspective, and you're being organic about it.
Exactly, and relatable. So my demographic is all parents. It's all parents, and
smart.
You have to know your demographic as well, right? You have to know who you're targeting. If I'm talking in a perspective, I'm talking to whatever 50-year-old entrepreneurs about making money. Nobody's gonna like my videos. I'm gonna lose all my engagement. You have to know your demographic. You have a target in every video. So I'm checking my analytics every single day, like who's been watching me recently, how my views have been. I'm looking at the country demographics as well. It doesn't really change as much because I keep my demographic as parents because I like it, but I could change it if I want. I could try to, but that's also how most people tend to fall off. It's either quality or their videos kind of shift. And that's why if you want to start new content creation in another different niche, create another account. Don't do it on your own personal brand. This brand I have right now, Junior Fit Nutrition, it's going to be nutrition and fitness forever. You're going to come back to that in 3 years. It's not going to be anything else. But if I want to start, entrepreneurship or helping people scale their personal brands, yes, that's going to be a different account. And maybe I'll use my personal brand to promote it a little bit. But I think the skills I built off of my personal brand, that's what's going to help my other businesses I'm going to strive to create later on in my life.
Amazing. We're getting free game from Alex, a 17-year-old. You guys better listen up. He knows what he's talking about.
Well, you took it serious.
Yeah.
That post it wasn't like you just did some messing around post and it just popped off. This was something that you went in with a strategy. You said, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to get people's attention. You did the post. Then all of a sudden, you woke up the next day and it was crazy?
Yeah, it wasn't a 15 mil the next day. It was probably 3 million. I woke up maybe the next week it was 15 million. I think it's sitting at 15 million now, so probably around 13, 14. It's slowed down now, but I still go in my likes, and I'll see people commenting on that video to this day. And if you look at it, it's not just likes. It has about 8,000, 9,000, probably even more comments, and the shares are over 50,000.
It's a conversation.
Yeah. They're sending it to all their kids. That's what helps my videos a lot, because I resonate with the parents and the teens. I give value, and they share it to their kids, and Instagram picks up on all that. So you need people to engage with your stuff for sure.
A lot of people start working out and they quit. Why do you think that you stayed with it?
I stayed with it for 2 reasons. I'll give you my honest opinion again.
First one of the girls.
That's the main one too. But no, it's my personal brand. It is what I do. I can't. If I stop working out, what's my business? I'm gonna not preach or do what I preach, and that's not who I am. So that's the main one. It's what I do, but also because I love it. If I didn't love it, I wouldn't have my personal brand. It's something that I genuinely love. I was just talking to the person I'm with here today, and I'm like, when are we going to the gym, man? Because I like it. No matter where I am, I need to get a lift, and I feel like I'm incomplete without it. But also because it's my personal brand. It's what I do. I'm gonna do what I preach. That's just how I was raised, and that's the morals I bring along with me.
You can open up the first 18 and under gym in Miami and become a millionaire.
There's so many. See, another thing I
It's a
do
good
want.
idea.
There's something I want to talk to you guys about, and this is gaps in the market. This is another thing. Free value here again, okay? So gaps in the market is something a lot of people don't even know about, or this is what helps me a lot with everything I do, monetization or just going viral. And it has to be, you can't do what everybody else is doing, and that sounds really hard, but and I don't mean the niche. Like, fitness and nutrition is one of the most popular niches out there. I don't mean finding a whole random niche about a cup or something. I mean picking a popular niche, that's number one, but then also finding a gap in that niche. So my gap in my niche was there wasn't a lot of teens posting about nutrition and fitness. The teens are posting about video games or how to make money fast, crypto. No teens are posting about fitness and nutrition. If you scroll on Instagram, 90% of them are 40-year-old plus guys. Or I'm like, that's my gap in the market. That was the first thing right there. And a wise person told me about this a very, very long time ago when I first started. This is what helped me a lot. Two, don't get mad at me that I'm sharing this, but no, I'm joking. And the second thing that helped me when I started monetizing was there's not a lot of teen coaches, fitness and nutrition coaches that can resonate with other teens. If you notice with my coaching and how I monetize my business, I don't target parents. I don't say I'm coaching parents. I say I'm coaching teens. And when I do my ads and stuff, I resonate. I'm like, these are people I can resonate with your kid, right? Because every sales call I get on, the parent comes to me and they tell me, I'm here because they're not going to listen to me. They're going to listen to a kid their age that knows what they're talking about. So finding a gap in the market is very important because if you're doing what everybody's doing, your chances are 100 times lower, especially at the time and age where everybody's already established.
Genius.
When did you realize that your content was going to turn into a business?
I realized when I met a few really good people. Everything's connections in the space, especially in the social media and content creation space. And I mean, I had the skills to make good content and know how to go viral, but I didn't really have the skills of an entrepreneur yet, right? Like I that stuff I couldn't really build on my own. I met a lot of good people. I built a really good team, and we strategized for a long time. Like this was 6 months in a strategy before we dropped our first ever monetization strategy of trying to make sales off of what we do. A lot of strategy goes behind it. People try and monetize too fast. The get rich quick thing is never gonna happen. I've tried it before. I've lost a lot of money in crypto, meme coins. I've tried all that stuff, and you're not gonna get rich tomorrow. But you can build the skills now and get rich before most people if you just focus now and don't have that mentality, because it's gonna kill you. It really is, and it's killed me before, and I stopped that very fast.
I mean, everybody wants to be fit, right?
Yeah.
Everybody wants to be rich.
No, this is
Everyone
one.
both.
This is
But
another.
one thing too, within Miami that we talk about a lot. You want to be rich, you want to be set, but the most important thing is to be rich in your heart and to have people who love you and to communicate with people and to say all the things and to do all the things that you said earlier, which, of course, we want to be rich and have a lot of money, but you want to be rich in love and intelligence and do something that betters people's lives.
Yeah, 100%. I believe a lot of my morals. I was raised like that too. I believe you have to have proper morals. You have to have the proper sort of take into things. You can't go in with bad intentions or it's just going to bite you right back. Maybe not now or tomorrow or the day after that, but definitely in the future. And I've learned that before. Nobody's perfect. Growing up, definitely. But you learn as you go. Nobody ever is going to be perfect straight off the bat, but it depends on if you want to learn from your mistakes or continue making the same mistakes over and over again. And I want to go back to one thing you said as well. A big saying that I kind of run on my life on as well, which has found me lots of success, is, and I tell a lot of people this, is people like the outcome, but they don't like the path. Like you mentioned, right? People like getting fit. They don't like the path to get fit. They don't like going to the gym every day, staying consistent. People like to get rich, but they don't like the path and then struggles of late nights to get rich. People like having a very successful business. They don't like the path to it. So if you don't like the process, you're not going to get the result. I believe heavy in that. So find something that you like the process of, or just scrap
the
it.
process is tough.
Yeah, it's tough,
So
but you have to enjoy it.
How do you fight through that
I
when you're
love
not
it.
seeing results?
I love it. I love every second of what I do. I love sales calls. I love researching. I love content. I love seeing other people be successful, and it motivates me. I love every second of it. You know, my mom, I could stay in school right now, and I could probably go to med school. Like, my grades are good enough. I could choose a safe route and become a lawyer. Like, my mom's a lawyer background, and I don't want to do it. It's not gonna make me happy. I wouldn't enjoy that process of sitting for 12 years in school or 8 years in med school, however long it is, and study, and then go and live in a hospital the whole day and make a good amount of money. But I'm not gonna be happy. You have to do something that you're gonna love the process of and be happy in the end.
100%.
It's very refreshing to hear you say that, because a lot of young people, at least from what we've seen so far come through here, they don't want to do anything without reward, you know? And if you want, the most successful people always start their stories with how little reward there was when they started, you know? It seems like a badge of honor to have accomplished something when you go through the ringer and not get paid for it, you know? But you just continue doing stuff that you loved, and eventually it paid off, you know? But nowadays, people want to wait for that one reel to hit 15 million, and then they're going to get rich overnight. And that's the kind of like the mentality right now. But it doesn't work like that, because even if you get the reel that hits 15 million, that wasn't the end of the story there. That was just the beginning, right?
No, it's extremely hard. That's where everybody gets that concept wrong. They think it's so easy, but if it was so easy, everybody would be successful on social media. Or like, if it was so easy to get fit, everybody would have a six-pack on the beach. Or like, you know, if it was so easy to make money, like it's not easy. A lot of people think it's either so many steps to everything in life, especially when you want to achieve higher goals. But every step is worth it, and that's why I mentioned earlier about the competition being easier around my age, because I see it around my school. You have to find the drive within yourself, and a lot of people don't like the drive. They can't think into the future. I noticed that about a lot of people. Their mentality is really warped. You know, you have to think into the future. You can't think about now or tomorrow, this week. I think about myself when I'm 25, not when I'm 17 or 18 or 19, like I'm 17 right now. I think about myself when I'm 25, and every day I work towards me being 25, 26, and not being 18 or 17 next week, right? Because that's not going to happen next week, whatever you're trying to achieve. It's very, very small, and the chances are very small, and it's not worth taking the chance. So you have to have the mentality of thinking in the future, not in the present. When it comes to business, I'd say, for sure.
Are you from Miami?
No.
We haven't had one person yet born and raised in Miami. Where are you from originally?
Toronto, Canada.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
And how long you been here?
I'm only here for a few days, about a week. I'm just here. I came here for Channel 8 News.
Oh, sweet.
And then I'm here just, seeing a few people making good content. I like a good change of scenery. That's another thing I try and tend to look for. But yeah, I'm going to come down here a lot more.
I was about to say, what do you feel about Miami?
I love it.
Where we are.
I love it. No, I love the palm trees. It's a big thing. This is my dream place. I'm going to live here, and I mentioned 25 at least.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, but no, it's my dream place here, LA. Growing up, I loved LA. I love the success. I just love being in a place, in an environment where everybody's decently successful. Everyone knows what they're doing. They're doing their own thing, And the environment also helps me kind of stay productive. I was just talking to my friend about this too, This environment, I'm like so productive. I feel like I want to get stuff done, seeing the success around me. I'm like, I need to get stuff done. What am I doing scrolling on my phone?
Exactly. You're sitting down, people, Lambos, they're in their yachts, and you just think,
Yeah.
hey, I deserve that. Like,
Yeah.
why can't I have that?
Yeah,
And just like you said, I think that's the method of Miami that makes everybody want to hustle so much.
Yeah.
But just like Jay said, everybody gives up too easy. You gotta keep on.
Yeah.
Well, you can't come here and be broke.
Yeah.
You won't last long. You gotta have some money to spend here.
I know. I was trying to do the numbers earlier on the plane. I'm like, how much do I need to make to actually live here comfortably, right? And it's like kind of crazy.
Yes, it is crazy.
We're getting there. But I wanted to also give you guys another good saying that was one of my viral videos as well. This is I love this kind of saying concept I found. And I stick with it as well too. And this is another thing a lot of teens or even everybody in the world don't really grasp their head around. And it's about who you surround yourself with. People think they can do your own thing if you surround yourself with whoever, but it's not true. And the video was, you hang out with 2 drinkers, you'll become third. You hang out with 2 failures, you'll become third. You'll hang out with two smokers, you'll become third. So you see what I mean, et cetera, et cetera. And I strongly believe in who you hang out with, you're gonna become eventually, regardless if you like it or not. People have a great impact on you, even if you don't think it. You may think you're very strong-minded and you don't let nobody get to you. But deep down, if you tap into yourself and your mind, you'll realize that everybody has an effect on you. So choose wisely who you hang out with, especially if you want to become successful in whatever you're doing.
Well, you brought a friend with you today, so what's that relationship like?
Yeah, no, I literally only surround myself around people who are in the same space as me, doing the same things as me, around my age as well. Like, this is my friend, first of all. We're boys, obviously. It's not like just a random guy I know, but we're doing the same things. That's why we're boys. That's why we're so close, and we hold a close connection, because we both have the same drive. We're doing the same things. We want the same goals. So you can build good connections if you find people who are on the same path and journey as you and on the same page with just everything. If I was hanging out with a kid that had no goals, there would be nothing to talk about. There would be nothing to resonate on. There would be no connection there. That's why me and Mateo are such good friends, because we're doing the same thing, we have the same goals, and we have so much to talk about and learn and grow together with. So
Alex has a big media company here in Miami. They do a lot of videos for local businesses, and he says he doesn't take jobs from people that don't believe in his brand.
Just like you said, I'd rather work with someone that wants to work with me and appreciates me and sees my vision than rather say, okay, I'm going to hire you and you're just going to do what I say because I know what I'm doing. No, you're hiring me because I know what I'm doing, and you like the vision, and it has to be that synergy. So agreed.
yeah, you have to believe in what you're doing. Even when I work with brands on my personal page, if I don't believe in that brand, I'm not going to promote it. I don't care how much money you're coming to me with. If it doesn't make sense for me and I don't like the product, doesn't work for me, or it doesn't make sense, or it's something that I don't believe in, I'm not going to promote it. And that's where a lot of people do tend to fall off, as well as like with everything, business, content creation, social media, is they get sold out really fast. And they'll see one big paycheck, and that'll be their last paycheck. So you have to really build your brand on yourself and what you believe in, and don't get paid out or let anybody choose what you're doing. It's your thing. You do it and you believe in it and you push for it all. So yeah, I definitely agree with that, like strongly, because that's a big mistake a lot of people make.
And it's so different too, because I know you do content, right? I do professional, high-end, like luxury content sometimes. And that doesn't even resonate with a lot of people because it's too cinematic and it's too like high quality.
Yeah.
Some people just want phone stuff that's organic, and those are the ones that get millions of views. Sometimes I put so much work in my videos and it's a production and it's so amazing, and I don't even get likes, and it's so frustrating. But for me, like I said, like you said, you got to keep on going. One video could change your whole flow. I could get one view from Nike and they're like, oh, wow, look at this guy's video.
Yeah.
Scroll all my videos. Boom, you're hired. $1.5 million contract. Something like that.
Yeah.
So, yes.
Yeah.
That's so bananas. I did a production with, I'll tell you a little story of a video that I did that kind of that went crazy for me. I never really wanted to have like a lot of following or anything like that. So when it happened like that for me overnight. Yeah. And it was very uncomfortable because I had to pause it because it was just going crazy on its own. And what was crazy about that is that it was a big production that I have a supplement company called Bip Bip Nutrition. Yeah. And I went down to Tulum, Mexico to film a shoot. I rented a whole gym out that was on the beach there, very famous. It's on the Tulum Beach. Tulum Gym is called. And it's in the sand, and the weights are made out of wood, and it's really cool, and it's great content looking and all that stuff. So we went down there, videographers, director, did the whole thing, influencer, the whole 9 yards. Did all these videos professionally. The views were like 5 views, no likes, no nothing. There was one video that the makeup artist took with her phone where we were messing around in the back, and me and the girl were like, yo, I'm gonna do some pull-ups, I'm gonna hang on you, right? So I got up and I got on the pull-up bar like this, and she jumped in front of me and like monkeyed me like that by the front, and I did like 3 pull-ups like this. Man, the video, and I put it on my gram. Yeah. Man, the thing went crazy viral, like 300,000 views, this, that, the likes. I'm looking at all these followers from all over the world. And I'm like, yo, this is crazy. I wish this would have happened like on the brands page, you know, like the Bip Bip Nutrition page. But it wasn't a professional video. It was a fuck around video from a phone from the makeup artist that's like this, all shaking and shit. but it went fucking crazy.
Yeah.
And people resonated with that video, and rather than the professional ones that we
Yeah.
did and all that stuff. And it's like, it's crazy. You don't know the one video that's going to change your story, and you work hard, you do all these professional videos, and you do all this stuff. And look, the video you did with 50 million views was your phone.
Yeah, phone and a crappy tripod.
Yep.
You have to, yeah, I agree with you. And I make some professional videos too with my photographer, and they never do good. Like, I'll pay professional editors too. I've never had a video that I've professionally made do good. I just do it for my own personal brand, for myself.
Yeah.
I don't expect it to. You know, I'll edit the edits I do for my phone on CapCut, and the videos that take about an hour max to make with editing too are always the ones that go viral. I just posted a video like literally on the plane with my photographer. It took literally, like I told him to, I'm like 15 minutes. And I just knew it was going to be good. And then I go back on it like the next day, it's like 2.5 million views. This is like 3 days ago. And I'm like, yeah, like these are the videos that when I'm hungry for views and I need like some sort of traction on my page, I'm going to go for those, not the high quality, because I always think of it from like a perspective from a viewer. You know, when I'm scrolling on my phone, I see like freak that one video. I'm going to laugh, I'm going to like it. I'm going to send it to my friend too. Right? But if I'm looking at maybe like a professional, I'll just think it's like an ad. I'm going to keep scrolling.
Right.
You know, you have to think like that.
Yes. Like this, in this setting here where we're doing a podcast or you want to promote your brand, I think it's got to be professional. But I think when you want to resonate with people,
Yes.
it doesn't have to be. So like for all those young content creators out there, don't think you need a big production crew
No, you
behind
don't.
you. Just
You don't.
get your tripod, you know, stick to something that you like,
Yeah.
you know, and just focus on that and just keep hitting it and keep hitting it and keep hitting it. And someday it's going to pop off, you know,
Yeah.
especially if you know, like, you know what you're talking about. You're talking from experience. I think people resonate with that. I think it came from a place where people were very confined at the time. Like, you went through the depression and stuff, and I want to talk about that because that video was what caught my attention. You know, I could resonate with that. You know, we have a friend. He looks like you know. That, you know, we were like, wow, you guys were
Giancarlo in the house.
Giancarlo, you know.
Giancarlo.
So you guys went through this. It looked like you guys, man, at the same time, you guys are going through the same exact thing. So all those videos that are on that reel, 2 million views, and none of them are professional. You're in your bed, waking up, you got your hair in a mess, you're smoking vapes.
B-roll
Like,
clips.
talk to us about like where were you at in your life at that point? Because you look like you could have gone left, but then you somehow made a curve to the right.
So all the things I've been mentioning was kind of just a buildup of that outcome. Like I was hanging around the wrong people. I had no drive. A lot of it was just like COVID, just kind of mental health. Because I told you, I grew up as a very outgoing, athletic kid. And that was the worst thing that happened to me because I was cooped up in my house. And the only thing I had was video games and just kind of bored. And, you know, even with how I kind of view things as well, the kids who are the most bored will do the worst things. You know, and I was bored, and I was like, let me vape, let me cure my boredness somehow, because I can't go and I can't play, or I can't go and I can't learn a new skill, or go on an adventure, or something like that. So I'm going to have to do something else, and that's the only thing you could really do, right? So obviously not, but I chose that path, and I was just cooped up with a bunch of things. It was impacting my mental health. And I needed a fresh start. And when COVID was done, my like I mentioned, my three pieces of motivation was transitioning into high school, you know, COVID being done, and then my skin. Those were the three. And you just need one realistically, but those were my three. And yeah, like it changed everything for me. So I, like you mentioned as well, when you saw my video, right? You talked about how it resonated with you. Think about how that's just like, what are the chances of it resonating with you? Now, what are the chances of it resonating with 50 different parents that clicked on my page in the past 2 hours, right? It's gonna, you have to have a story and document the journey. So say you're a kid right now, or you're a teen, or you're an entrepreneur, and you're starting up a business, whatever it is, making clothes, e-commerce, crypto, some food place, whatever it may be. Document the whole journey. And if you do research on Instagram, you see all these successful businesses, entrepreneurs, they have their journey that backs them up. If you don't have a journey, you all of a sudden just popped out and now you made it, people are gonna be like, who are you? That's where you also build personality, because you need personality on your pages too. So There's a lot, but I'd say for everybody, just document everything you're doing, and then when you make it, now you have all this trust. You have a proven system.
Amazing.
Yeah, I like
Usually,
that.
at this point of the interview, we say, "Hey, give free game to kids your age," but we've been doing that all
Yeah.
No, look,
interview.
drop something like
Yeah.
what's something you want to tell young entrepreneurs?
I'd tell them that I feel like it breaks down to three things. I'd say, for me personally, and this is me being a self-entrepreneur myself, it comes with consistency, number one. Second is passion, because you have to love what you're doing. And then third, and this is what a lot of people don't talk about, is the gap in the market. Don't pick something that everybody's doing. Like, for example, right now, recently, I've been seeing AI agencies everywhere. Everybody's cold calling it. I would never do something like that because I know there's no point. So find a niche that you like and you have passion for, and then find a gap in the market, something that people aren't doing. Say, for example, you like drop shipping. Obviously, a lot of people are doing that, but if you want to build a personal brand off of that, create your content in a way that, you don't see everybody else doing it. So I would say consistency, passion, and then finding a gap in the market. You have those three, and you stay on top of it every single day. Do it for about a year. I'm sure you'll find really good success.
I wonder what you think about our strategy here, because we found that we feel like our niche in the podcast space is a lot of podcasters are out there to promote themselves and what they're doing and to fight with their guests and to argue with their guests.
Yeah.
So we found that there was a space for a podcast that will uplift entrepreneurs, tell their story, good and bad. Because everybody goes on there and promotes the good stuff. I'm a baller.
Exactly.
You know what I
And
mean?
it's not about us. And we don't want to hear about necessarily the win.
Uh-huh.
Like you said, show us the journey that took you to get there. Tell us about your failures so that we can give advice to other people so they don't fail.
Did you have a failure along the way? What would you say was your failure?
About my content creation or about my personal story?
I guess, you saw we have the 15 million views.
Yeah.
Things are going well.
Uh-huh.
From here to there, from then to now,
Yeah.
what stumbles did you have along the way? You said, oh, man.
Well, yeah, lots. First of all, like personal life, obviously, there's going to be people in your life who tell you whatever you can't do it, make fun of you, whatever it is, right? Like, there's going to be a lot of people like that. And you have to just blur them out because they're not going to be there in 3 years, 4 years. When you're successful and you made it, they're going to come back to you if that, but you're not going to care. And that seems very generic for a lot of people, but that's what kills a lot of people's visions and dreams, and they'll never make it. How I think of things is you have one life, and you're the only person in control of your life, so don't let other people control it. If you want to be successful, you have visions of owning a penthouse in Miami, New York, and you want to be successful, nobody's stopping you but yourself. Maybe you think other people are stopping you, but at the end of the day, you have the call if you want to stop, or if you want to continue going and block out the blur. And you have to block with the blur. So that was one for me. That was a hump, kind of having to find it within me.
That's gotta be really tough, especially because of your age. Because you
Yeah.
might have family members and stuff that will tell you, "Hey, focus on school. What are you doing?"
All the time. It's until I actually started to see success from it. Nobody believed in it. I'm gonna be honest. Like, not saying that my family they're bad people. They're just old school. It's normal. It's very common, and I don't blame them. But I didn't care because I saw a vision. And if you see a vision, you have passion, just continue going. So
Oh,
that was a big
that was a Rick Ross for you right there.
Well, I can tell you as an adult, and I'm not that much older than you, but a little bit older than you. Like, I personally surround myself with the younger generation.
Yeah.
Because I know that they have a lot to offer. Kids like you who are seeing the future from a different angle. So I'm not going to knock you down. I'm going to get right behind you and I'm going to follow your wave because it's the younger generation that's able to do things like this right now. The Jake Pauls of the world that have opened the doors. And even he's a dinosaur really in his own way because he's older. You know what I mean? We got kids like Jack Doherty and Neon and Kai Cenat who are really breaking through, you know what I mean? And how they're younger. So there's something that they're doing. So rather than me tell them, go back to school and go be a teacher and make $35K a year, keep doing what you're doing. Let me see what you're doing. Let me see what angles are because the world is changing and things change, and the changing of the guard is real. Where you can be at the top 1 minute and then all of a sudden that guy that's at the bottom, he's at the top.
Yeah.
So you always got to
up
respect the guy at the bottom. The kid you're saying not to do, he's doing it. So he may have that belief and he may see something that you don't see, you have to kind of push people along. Like, I'm a big supporter of pushing people along in their dreams and what they do. And I know it's tough for guys like you and Alex because you guys are very creative and you guys see things. I'm not very creative, so I don't have that vision like that, you know? But I know it's hard to have a vision, to see it, and then actually follow through with it when people are telling you, that's terrible.
Yeah.
I get on Alex about the way he posts his videos sometimes because he posts them sideways and I got to look at them like this, you know? But if he believes like that's something that he likes to do, that's in his... Who am I to tell him?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's not like I got millions of views, you know what I mean? So you have to be able to stick to your guns and keep pushing through. Don't let anybody tell you you can't do it. If you have a vision, man, just keep going for it. You know what I'm saying? I plenty of times in my life, I've seen people down here, boom, be up here, you know? And the way they did it was by sticking to what they were doing, you know? And the guy at the top who drops his guard, who thinks he knows everything and he's not willing to keep changing, he goes down, you know? So, I know it's tough.
Also, now you got 2 hubs in Miami.
Yeah.
So we'll stay in contact.
Awesome.
And, you know,
Let's do it.
we can grow together.
Some rapid fire.
sure.
Yeah, rapid fire.
Yeah,
we got 47 minutes.
Where are you working out at right now while you're in Miami?
Where am I working?
Yeah, working out.
Oh, Ghost.
To where?
Ghost. It's called
Ghost?
I was referred there. It's like a gym.
Where is
We
it?
haven't gone there yet. No clue. Going after this.
Ghost.
Yeah.
Have you heard of it?
Ghost gym.
No.
What's a daily habit that you have right now that you feel is something you'll never give up?
I always plan out my days ahead every night before I go to bed. You know, I set my priorities straight and I get that what needs to be done, and then I save the other stuff for after. So always have a priority checklist before I go to bed to make my next day productive.
Who's your most amazing person in your life right now that you're so grateful for?
My mom.
Are you thinking about streaming? Or do you stream?
No, I haven't gotten to streaming yet. Or YouTube. That's in the future.
Why have you not gone into that?
You know how you mentioned before switching up, you know, I'm trying to double down on what I do now. Once I've got a pretty passive, I have a very good system in place. I'm still growing. Yeah, I'm going to switch it up and then get into, once I have more time on my hands, I don't want to burn myself out as well.
You got a strategy.
Yeah, strategy.
Yeah, strategy.
All right, another question. Hulk Hogan or The Rock?
The Rock, because it's more of my generation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Rock.
I figured he would say that. But I would even think you would go to Rock and somebody else who would be more comparable that's younger, because Rock is old too.
John Cena?
Well,
That's
I
my
think he's
favorite.
up there too.
That's my
But
favorite.
Hulk Hogan is a legend.
Yeah.
And The Rock is a legend.
But
legend.
Hulk might be
Yeah.
too old for him. I don't even think he would remember him. You know?
No,
Yeah, but
I
he's the
never
Michael
watched it.
Jordan of wrestling, you know?
Yeah.
He is. But no, The Rock.
Yeah, The
more
Rock.
generation.
Okay. And what do you want people to remember you by?
I want people to remember me by a very just driven person, like never gave up until he found what he wanted. Since I was 6 years old, 5 years old, I told my mom I want to be rich. I want to live in LA. That was my biggest goal. Never told her why or how. Never had a way how until now. But I had my goals set, and I knew I was gonna get there somehow. So I want people to remember me as somebody who had goals and just never gave up on them.
All right, that wraps up our episode today with South Beach Strategy. Alex, thank you for coming.
Thank you.
Alex from Privileged Media.
Where can they find you?
Coming.
Thank you, Jay. Where can they find you on Instagram?
Junior Fit Nutrition, one big word on basically all platforms except for like Twitch.
Yeah, you got a lot of handles.
Yeah.
So what we'll do is when we share and collaborate, add your handles to the collaboration so that they can find you, so our guests can see where we have a lot of, like I said, I have a lot of kids your age that would love to follow you and they want to get in the gym and they need some extra motivation. I think it's true. Sometimes it's better they hear it from somebody who's their age. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I wish I was younger and I would have had access to information like that when I was young, because I started working out when I was 17 and I didn't really have anybody I didn't have the YouTube and all that stuff. You know, I kind of had to just go in there and kind of wing it. And then eventually I met guys in person and then I started training with them. And that kind of helped me along the way. But it would have been nice to go somewhere, like to my phone, and see somebody who's my age who's doing it. See what are you eating?
Yeah.
You know, what are you doing? What did you work out today? You know, and kind of share that story and go along together and follow along the journey. All right, everybody, that wraps up another episode on South Beach Strategy, where we're here with Alex. We're gonna post all his channels. We're gonna post his Instagram, his YouTube, his Twitter, everything. He's got so many channels. They're all blowing up. The guy's got the views to back it up. Follow this guy's journey. It's great. You can resonate with it if you have kids. You know, this is something that you may want your kids. I'm sure they're exploring in the gym right now. I was definitely exploring at 17. That's when I started really like hitting the gym. I was into sports and stuff like that, you know. So, but you know, 17 is when I really started hitting the gym, and I saw that you really got those workouts down packed.
Yeah, you'll be jacked by 21.
Yeah. Hopefully.
Oh no!
Early.
When I turned 18, when I graduated high school, graduated and came back for my diploma 3 weeks later. The people in the front desk didn't even recognize me.
Jacked up, right?
I had no clue who I was. Like, who's this guy? I'm like, it's Jay. And they're like, nah, it's not Jay. I'm like, yeah, it's me. And you know, you go through that growth spurt at some point. You know what I mean? And especially when you're hitting the gym, because that's when I started hitting it. And I came back, I swear, 3 weeks there, I would never forget. And they knew me in that fucking office because I was there all the time, bro. So they knew exactly who I was. But when I came back, they had no fucking clue. They were like, really? Maybe they were gassing it up a little bit, you know? But it felt good. So they said that because, you know, I wasn't the biggest fan. I wasn't their biggest fan in there, you know? But you go through that growth spurt, and it's going to happen. And that you shouldn't touch anything really until you go through that. Let it happen naturally. Keep growing. You don't want to be all jacked up anyways. You want to be shredded. Everyone wants to be shredded. And you don't need steroids for that. You know, that's diet. And you know that.
Yeah.
You know, so.
Let's give it up for Alex.
Yeah.
Thank you.